What's up, Team Starlight? Welcome back to another episode of Return of the Different Deck, and today we have a new rendition of Rescue Cat. It's barely even built around Rescue Cat. It's focused on X-Saber Airbellum. X-Saber Airbellum, whenever I play against Rescue Cat decks or X-Saber decks, I don't care. I mean, obviously, when they have the cat plays, like, that's gonna ruin your day, if you can't stop it or interact with it. But the most annoying openers for me as a frog player tend to just be when they go X-Saber Airbellum attack you directly. Like, this card is lethal. So, I took it to the nth degree and added a copy of Spirit Reaper and a copy of Donzalug and made a very simple strategy. We are going to clear the way to attack with these guys to generate advantage. And to support that strategy, we have two legendary Jujitsu Masters, which, clear the monsters out the way. We've got 3 Raikos and Hamster, which is classic with Cat. Obviously Hamster can grab Airbellum in a pinch if you need a target, but mostly you're just grabbing Raiko to clear back row or clear monsters. And then further to clear the way, we've got 4 back row removals in the form of 2 Noblemen of Exterminations plus the Heavy and MST. And we've got 4 monster removal cards. 3 Smashing Ground, 1 Fisher. I like Noblemen of Extermination because it's fast. I can go turn 1. If they summon a monster instead of back row, I can go Nobleman the back row, smashing the monster, hit them directly, and we're off to the races. And it also serves as a spell for the Summoner Monk. My Body as a Shield also doubles as a spell for the Summoner Monk and helps protect our board in cases where we're going like Raiko, flip, pop their monster, summon a guy. We have 2 monsters on board. We can play into Mirror and Torrential. Same thing with Jujitsu Master. He sticks around a lot of the time, and so having some protection helps. We've got the 1 Pot of Avarice. And this is a card I kind of want to fit a second one, but the theme was active cards, so I didn't want to overdo it, but I think you might need 2, because if you mill it, it kind of feels bad. But this is what I'm working with in the main deck. Albert is here with me. What are your reactions to this main deck?
I love it. Handrip.deck. My only note would be adding a giant Trunade in here, because it pairs well with the monk. It allows you to clear the back row and make way for like a monk push, which is one of my favorite things to do in X-sabers.
Yeah, I guess if you have cat plus monk, or sorry, cat or monk, it definitely justifies it. I think I was thinking that like a lot of your games are going to be won and lost off the backs of just summoning these guys outright and playing like a really simple summon poke. And I feel like it's not worth it if you're going like Trunade to Airbellum poke, because at that point you're not even plussing. Maybe I could see it. Obviously, yeah, I get it. If you get to do these plays, it definitely warrants it. So that's something I could try out in the future. In the side deck, we have 2 Breaker because it's deck devy proof. That's pretty much, and it just adds to our like value engine game that we're playing with this deck. 2 Fossil Dyna, DD Crow, Shield Crush, which it's funny. I wanted to play Nobleman of Crossout for like the Raiko Hamster Caius decks, but I didn't want to Nobleman and have to banish my own Raikos because I'm playing this value engine. So I just played the Shield Crush as like decks that tend to be defensive. You can sub out like a Fisher for Shield Crush, the additional copy of Fisher, and we have Starlight Road, which could be main decked in all honesty, but it's just a nice card to have against the Icarus attack decks. Triple Pulling the Rug and Mask because you're really weak to frogs, and so you just need to play the like I'm gonna hand rip you and stop you from like Kaiusing me back on the crackback, and then get to do it again. And then 2 Dust Tornado. So I haven't played that many games with this deck so far. I will show you guys the replays that I have. First match, we're up against DK2402. He is going first. We are going to get Trap Dust Shooted. It's kind of whatever. We have Upstart Goblin in our deck to insulate us, and we draw right back into the Airbellum that he puts back.
Oh my. DB glitch.
We are going to Nobleman and run into the Legacy, which feels bad, but we instantly recuperate the neg that we just experienced by summoning Airbellum. We are going to get to rip a card, but he does have the Gores, which feels bad. But thankfully, we have Smashing Ground, and we're going to be able to set Dust Shoot and resolve it in the standby phase. So let's take a look at his hand. We put back the only monster, which is that Kalut the Moon Shadow, and we see that he has Icarus Attack, 7 Tools, and Dimensional Prison.
Yeah, is he? Oh, he did crash it. Wow. Okay, so he's just gonna bank on drawing a bird, and you're not drawing anything. But we got Raiko.
Yeah, Raiko's a really good draw. It helps turn on the Pot of Avarice, and we needed a monster to kind of get the game plan going. I choose to just pop the monster because we know that his back row is just D Prison and 7 tools, and at present we can't deal with the Gale. The Gale. So we're just gonna do that. We enter a bit of a draw pass here. I think you just have to summon the Airbellum and to like eat the D Prison, but I I knew the D Prison was there and I didn't want to. But then like you see here, I finally draw another one, and so I'm just gonna do it now. But now I'm just a turn behind, so I think you just have to like accept it and go for it. Okay, so now at this point, I'm gonna set the hamster, and we are gonna get dark armed, which feels pretty bad. But we do have the smashing ground, and we haven't been hit yet, so it's not like the worst because we're just gonna be able to summon the Sangan, smashing ground that monster, and then hit in for 1,000.
Wait, is Avarice not live yet?
No, I think we're one off because we didn't get like the best mills with the Raiko to get it live. So now it's down
I
pretty
see.
bad. Here he goes for the brain control, which is like kind of suspect, but if you just look at the board state, it's kind of like we're down so bad, and that's why you kind of need at least one Avarice. Probably should maybe play 2 in this deck because it is a comeback card. But he's going to be able to synchro here into Android, and he's going to, we're going to search the rescue cat, of course, and we have a read right now that this is 7 tools and this is Icarus because he set this at a time when he didn't have any birds. So like we kind of know what we need to play around basically off the trap dust shoot earlier. And like so I activate the Avarice, we're able to get Cyber Dragon, which feels really good. And the Cyber Dragon is going to pair with the Rescue Cat, which is absolutely amazing. We get double Airbellum, and then here he is going to try to Icarus attack, and here comes the My Body as a shield. And so we're able to smashing ground because we know that this has to be the 7 tools and just rip 2. And I just choose to make Colossal Fighter because it's like the most insulated into everything he has, and I know that this isn't some sort of trap that can deal with it.
Oh, so he's just going in for damage here.
Yeah, he tries
Wait
to
a
summon.
minute.
I know he tries to summon Blizzard, but it says first line of text is he can't be special summoned. He already summoned the Vayu out of his deck and the Gale out of his deck, so he just can't make a synchro. So he just goes for Kalute in defense mode. We're just going to play it safe here by not attacking with the hamster because we could lose the game. And he top decks and it's nothing, so that's gonna be game 1.
Let's go. Hand rip Airbellum.
Yeah, here I choose to set the hamster instead of just go like breaker into a back row because I just feel like getting the like tempo on your hamsters is pretty important. He's going to go for the whirlwind Sirocco combo, but we got the dust tornado, which is nice. I choose to just pop the Sirocco here because we know that we can deal with the back row with Nobleman of Extermination and Breaker. We are going to hit the D Prison, and he's actually running 3, so pretty crazy, and now we know we don't need to play around that anymore. Is there a reason I don't summon Breaker? That's pretty interesting. I guess I just choose to set the Raiko, again, kind of like a tempo, prioritizing the getting my flip monsters down before committing my face-up cards.
Yeah, I don't think that's bad because you don't have any protection for it, and if he had deck Devi, it would have lived. So I think that was the right call.
Yeah, it does finally do its job eating the bottomless. The Raiko's dealing with the monsters. It's weird. I've been like popping monsters with Raiko more than I ever have in any other deck because you just run so much removal, especially post side. He is going to be able to collude over me here, But we have Cyber Dragons just kind of like crack back here.
He's forced to Icarus, which is not bad. He got rid of Torrential.
Yeah, it's just a 2 for 2. It's not like the most painful. But here we go. We got the Heavy Storm, clearing out the last back row, and we've got Cyber Airbellum. And I guess I think for a while here, because I'm really debating if I wanted to go for Colossal, but as soon as I summon the Cyber Dragon, he just sends the Shura to the graveyard, and I'm like, oh god, like you did not know that I was like actually pondering stuff there.
The internal struggle, yeah. Yeah, you definitely wait. If you're the opponent, you definitely wait to go into battle phase before you just throw cards to the grave.
Yeah, but here we go.
Oh man, he said a crow?
Yeah, so as soon as he does that, I'm like, that has to be Icarus. It turns out it is Icarus, and so we just keep swinging with Colossal Fighter, and I choose to not set a back row because you just don't want to play to their outs. He does get the Bora here, and he has Gale, but this doesn't actually deal with Colossal Fighter with only one card on the field unless he wants to pop his own stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he could get in for damage, but it just comes back.
Yep, so we draw a monster, and so now it's just clean and fair to be able to go Smashing Ground, because even if they have the Icarus, which he does, we've got the monster for game.
Sick.
Okay.
Swift 2-0 versus Blackwings.
Yes, I feel like this deck is a little bit Blackwing pre, even though you have some weak monsters. It is kind of pre against that deck, I feel like. It's been feeling good anyways. Okay, so now turn 1, we set the Donzalug, set Mirror Force, set Dust Shoot. I think I'm just like really envisioning drawing a like Airbellum or something and being able to go balls to the wall here, and I can protect the Donzalug hopefully with the Mirror Force. So we're gonna Dust Shoot them. We see that their hand, oh god, yeah, this is Frogs, and he's actually bricked up as soon as we Dust Shoot him because he does not have any playable cards minus the Raigeki Brick. And we actually have the My Body, which is crazy. So we're gonna put back the Substitoad. Oh.
Dude, oh my god, he's about to get ripped for 3.
Yeah, so he MSTs here, which I don't like. Well, I actually like setting the like MSTing, but then you have to set the Raigeki Break, right? Like it just like I don't know. Like
yeah, MSTing for no reason. Yeah. Especially when you don't know what you're up against too, because it could be a draw trap.
Yep, and I guess he drew an unplayable card, probably a Monarch or a Miracle Fusion, so he just scoops it up because he can't deal with the Dawn. The Dawn is just too strong. Going second this time, we are going to upstart into TT, which is nice. We set it, we set the Raikou, and he has nothing. So after they just do nothing, you have to assume it's probably a Dupe Frog, which if you see the stats, it is. So we are going to target the Dupe Frog. All the back rows are going to be chainable most of the time, so we're just going to summon the Reaper, play into the Torrential. It's not that big a deal. Like, we have a Airbellum. But getting Raigeki Breaked is pretty bad, because now we're wide open. But he's just got Junk Synchron, which isn't bad, because he's just going to consolidate into an Android. Because he doesn't have, like, Swap to bounce it or anything, so synchroing makes sense from his perspective. He hasn't really seen a lot of my deck, but this is pretty easy out because we just go Airbellum, Fisher, Crack, Bang. I'm taking your hand again.
Sick, and we got the Masker Restrict follow-up too, and Mirror Force to defend our Airbellum.
I know, and I ripped the MST, so at that point I just set both because I'm like, maybe you have Heavy and MST, but I'm risking it.
Dang, and the Frog.
Yeah, also Dyna just gonna absolutely seal it. Where he had Miracle and Caius. So that was a pretty easy game. We kind of sacked him, not gonna lie. I don't think all the Frog games are gonna go like that, which is why we play like the Egregious Hate. So, but I feel like it was borne out that like in the Frog matchup, the cards you just want to see are like these guys. Like really.
Yeah. I mean, Frogs is a hard matchup, but yeah, whenever they go swap send the Treeborn Frog bounce and you go Air Pelham and just rip a card, it always feels good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I do like my body against the Raigeki breaks. I feel like this card, the life point cost is so detrimental, but like it's kind of at an all-time high in my head right now with all the Icarus attacks floating around, and the frogs always are on. They're only on destruction back row, Raigeki break, torrential mirror force. So I just feel like this card has some potential that I've been looking at a little bit more. Next up, we are against Bruce, and he is going first. I choose to hold the upstart here because we have Cat, and I want to wait to like Cat first before going for a play. I don't want to draw an Airbellum.
Dang, he's going for it.
Yep, here I think about it. I choose to pop the Greffer because we can actually deal with his board if we just pop the back row, which, oh, spoiler alert, it's Icarus attack. But we can deal with his monster if we pop the Greffer, because then we can just smashing the other one and probably just throw the Dawn to the wind here. Maybe I'm just feeling it. Oh yeah, we're just going to throw the Dawn in.
Ooh, solid rip there.
Yep. We just bottomless this. This is fine trade, 2 for 2. He's going to Icarus, but we have the Cat in our hand as the follow-up. We've been saving it. And I think at this point, you have no better plays unless you just want to risk upstarting, which maybe, honestly, it could be worth it because if you just draw one Airbellum, it's actually not the worst. And we do just throw the Cat in, but it gets torrential, which is like fine. It's like a 1-for-1. It feels bad, but if it wasn't torrential, it like won us the game, basically. So I think it's worth it.
Yeah, and we have Cyber Dragon Kai's crackback, so wasn't bad.
Yep, and we get to put everything back here with the Pot of Avarice off the top. So good, so good. And we draw the Nobleman, so we're just going to keep doing our game plan, bro. We just Nobleman. Dude, this deck is so crazy. It's so like fair. It's like the most fair hand deck because you're just doing all this 1-for-1. It's like gadgets. It feels gadget-like. Funny, we do hit the Vayu though, which is pretty bad because then it just turns on the Sirocco, and he's got Plague and he has Gale. So this is kind of a big crackback.
Yeah, that's a huge commitment. It's a ton of damage, but it's not game, and we still have Cyber Dragon Caius.
Yeah, I mean, the sad thing for him is he kind of has to because he has to deal with it because he doesn't want to get cracked back by like a Caius, and he has no way to out the Reaper other than to commit like everything. But like you said, we have the Cyber Caius, which is just going to like absolutely decimate his hopes and dreams. He's on a top deck mode. I guess I choose to just set a Jujitsu Master because maybe I don't know what I was thinking exactly. But the funny thing is he actually top decks. Oh, because I knew he had the follow-up. I knew he had the follow-up of the Vayu play, I guess. So
a body to synchro.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking. I was like, I can set this and then I can make it level 8. But he draws Sirocco, so he summons Sirocco, he attacks, and he runs into our Jujitsu Master. So it goes right back to the top of the deck. And then wouldn't you know, we do Smashing Ground.
My.
We play 4 of those things, if you can count the Fisher. So we just clear that up. And now we know he's top decking Sirocco, so we can just not summon anything, and then he's stuck. And then we can summon and just rip that Sirocco out the hand.
Ooh, that's a good draw. Oh, he sends Necroguard now.
Yeah, his banish.
Oh, he has no more value.
He's literally all out of gas. His Plague's in the grave, his Necro's in the grave, or after he sends it, and then all the values are banished. So that's like the best he can do. So we don't want him to like live with the monster, so we don't set the hamster. We just commit the second Airbellum and just start swinging. And this is awesome. We have Rescue Cat, and we have one more Airbellum in the deck, so we can go for Rescue Cat effect, get Raikou and Airbellum, And I just ladder up here, make a Cataster, then Synchro into a Stardust to play around exactly Raikou, and it is Raikou. So he's gonna just mill, but at this point he has like no good mills left in deck. Like, I guess
No.
at that point I would just like Necro, but I guess I was gonna Air Bell him attack anyways. So he's kind of just
Yeah.
screwed.
Let's go.
Yep, he's gonna start off by just going with the Arma Send Plague play and setting a back row. I choose
What?
just yeah. It feels too bad to just like smashing ground this in the hopes that your attack's gonna go through. So I just throw it in to try to clear the Armageddon Knight.
I'm just surprised it stuck.
Yeah. We see that it would have worked out, and then so he sets the monster and sets a back row. We figured it's probably Icarus Value. I mean, we were gonna hit the new sets anyways with Dust Tornado, but after we see that it's Icarus, you just know that it's Value, right? I mean, I guess it could be Sirocco, but even then, it's something that gets run over. So we just summon the Sangan and attack with the Sangan because we're gonna be able to get in for another juicy hand drip.
Damn,
Hitting.
dude, you're ripping more than I rip in sabers.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. You just run all. You just want to draw your air bellums. That's why I'm like, you're running triple upstart and it doesn't actually feel bad because you're just fine with seeing them. He is gonna go for a big play here. He's got the plague. He's got the Goyo. But we have like the best crackback in the game, so I think you can. This one's kind of the writing's on the wall.
Yeah, and we have Sangan, so we're gonna get value from that.
Yeah. In the draw phase, he drops that Deck Devastation Virus, but he sees our hand and he knows what's coming. Yep, just
Take
deal
back
that.
Air Bellum.
And we hit the MSD. I know. It was just too juicy. He just scoops it up here. Even under Deck Devi, we've got the Breaker in hand insulating us. So the value matchup, not terrible. Not terrible.
Yeah, no, the spot removal really helps.
Here we go. We are now on to our fourth replay against Colin Ambulance, going second. Damn, I just noticed, I think maybe we went first one time. We got second a lot. He's going to go for Gold Star for Future Fusion, which is scary, but we've got the Air Bellum.
Dang, he's got the gores. That's kind of like a hand rip, though.
Chalice was like, I mean, it is a hand rip, and also just like, what? I'm like, what is he playing after I see Forbidden Chalice? Like, I have no idea. And now we see it's Jinzo, which is so bad. Jinzo is so good here. Staring down this board. Yeah, I just have to set the Jujitsu Master because Cat into Raikou plus Airbellum doesn't do anything. No 5 deals with his board unless we're just trying to crash Android into Jinzo, which honestly, maybe that's not the worst play. I don't know. I think I was thinking in my head, like, he's going to Jinzo attack into my set, and then I can, like, top deck it, and then use, like, my back row on the Gores or something. He does get to add the Future Fusion here, which he, of course, is going to shotgun. He's under Jinzo, but we have the MST.
Damn, tribute to Gores.
I know. The Caius was just too much, too powerful. In retrospect, I guess I could have done that crash play I was talking about, but I don't know. That feels kind of cope. Maybe not, though. Maybe I should have... I don't really know Jinzo that well. Like, I don't know if they're on Caius's or not. I feel like the deck is pretty flexible, so yeah, I'm not sure. Here I choose to go for Sangan, Dust Shoot, Torrential. Just feels way too juicy, so we're going to get to see his hand, and let's see. What would you take here, Albert?
I don't know. Maybe Jinzo, because then... Oh, we have Double Fissure. Maybe Breaker.
Yeah,
Because
that's what I.
then because then like he summons Krebons and we can fissure that and then rip something potentially.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because if I torrential the breaker, which is the like obvious thing you can do if you don't hit the breaker, you kind of just have to burn the torrential Sangan, and then you know he has deep prison for the follow up. So I just put back the breaker because then, like you said, if he summons Krebons, we can just fissure it. Um, but he summons Returner, which is crazy, so it can't run over the Sangan. He's probably thinking it's a Raikou. Um, which is nice though, because now we just go. I choose to just. I'm not sure if this is correct. I guess I was thinking if he just deprisons the Sangan, I can't even get over it. So I just choose to Fissure because now it forces him to basically hit my Spear Reaper, and I get to keep the Sangan torrential play for later.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm not supposed to be showing
Dang,
both
you drew
anymore.
breaker.
Yeah, but he drew right back into it, which is fine because now we can just search Summoner Monk and we know his hand, and he can't interact with us at all. So it's pretty much curtains because we just get to rip 2 out of the 3 in his hand. And we rip the Returner and the Krebons, and we're just gonna main phase 2 synchro into the Arcanite. I think this should be in attack mode. No reason to put it in defense mode. I'm just so used to it.
Yeah, because if he has a breaker, it just gets over it. Oh, dang.
I know.
It wouldn't have mattered.
He top decks the Fortress, so that's actually really crazy here because now we don't have an out. And we have the Gores, but he top decks into Gold Sark. And so this is a pretty heads up from a call-in ambulance because now he's thinking, I just don't need to attack until I get my Future Fusion. And he's actually playing around Gores really well. And we draw Brain Control, but we have no way to convert it. So I'm just like, oh my god, I can't do anything. I'm just like passing, letting him get to Future Fusion. We draw the Dawn, but the Dawn can't deal with it either. I kind of want to like bait him into attacking because we have Gores, and so I'm fine with just like sacrificing the Dawn to the Wolves because I figured he was going to play the Future Fusion, but he doesn't. He just keeps like attacking. So here drastic terms come where I'm like, I really need to bait this guy into playing into me. So I actually set the Bottomless and the MST for some like super nefarious neg myself to summon this Gores. I'm thinking like if he attacks me, I can. Okay, here's my thought process. I was thinking if he Future Fusions summons like 3 Jinzos or something, he attacks me. I can MST my own thing, summon Gores, all the Jinzos will die, and then I'll just brain for game.
Okay, let's see it. Let's see if he does it.
Yeah, I guess he only had... Oh, because he owed 2 Returners gone, so he only has 1 Jinzo. But he has a Gear Frame plus Force to get back Fortress. So this is pretty awkward here because even though we are going to be able to do the play that I was describing, we are going to, of course, go for it. We're not going to be able to like go for game here, and we're incredibly low because even after the cards die, he's going to be able to, or he's going to equip the Gear Frame to the Jinzo so the Jinzo doesn't die. So now he has 3 monsters on field, so the brain control play doesn't work. So
yeah, this is rough. We can clear the Jinzo.
Right. And I didn't think it was worth it to, yeah, if you crash and then he pops, like, you're just griefing yourself. So you keep the token in defense mode, so even if he crashes, he has to pop the Gores or the token, and we have the other one defending ourselves. I guess, I'm just thinking about it now, if he has any monster, he could go crash one, pop the token, crash the other, pop the Gores. But he would have to like have a hard read that my back row was fake to be able to commit to that.
Oh, just Kai's Gores, okay.
Yep, this is so awkward. Now the brain control's dead. And in retrospect, I don't think switching this to attack mode is even worth it. I think if he has like a gear frame into fortress play, it kind of actually ruins me because his whole board's gonna get nuked anyways. So I actually think that was a misplay, switching the token to attack, because now we kind of are at risk if he has specifically what I just said, but he doesn't. We got the Dust Tornado for that back row. So finally, in this game, we are going to get to hand rip, but he has Gores
Oh my
again.
god, jeez.
Dude, but guess what? It doesn't matter because our set card, I attack the token, and then the set card is Smashing Ground, and now we have Solemn to back us up, and it's just Jover.
Wow. That seemed like it was over for you.
Yeah, it wasn't feeling good when he was just waiting on that Future Fusion, but the Gores is a house in that game. Game 3, he's got the Sark for Future Fusion again after gear framing, and he is just going to summon the gear frame, which I found interesting at the time. I didn't really know why he would do that, but I guess I didn't really think too hard about it because I'm just thinking, okay, I can go Monk, pitch Monk, make Arcanite, pop his gear frame and the back row, and then Fisher the last one and get in for one rip. And I'm feeling like that's probably gonna be close to game. But
Yeah.
I go Monk, and he has Oppression of all
What?
cards.
Wow, I did not see that one coming.
I know. So at this point, I just Fisher because I'm like, crap. Like, I need to stop the damage that is about to, come for my head. And eventually, when I can get down my Jujitsu Master, I'm going to be able to hopefully send the Fortress back to the top of his deck, which will be a dead draw because he's under his own oppression. But I choose to just Fisher it instead because we draw into Airbellum. Or I know I drew into Fisher, so I just choose to Fisher it and Airbellum attack. Unfortunately, he does have the Mirror Force, which is pretty bad. And he adds the Future Fusion now, but he's under his own oppression, so we're kind of in this like really awkward game state, where we're just kind of draw passing for a while. God, and then this was so bad. Like, I figured he has to have Torrential, so I'm too scared to attack with Reaper. I think you just have to like maybe just send it. I don't know. I'm being a little too scared here. I think at this point is the moment where I should flip the Reaper and attack, because I'm still scared of Torrential. But instead, I guess I was thinking that like if I set Raikou first and pop, maybe he doesn't have Torrential, and even if he does, I can Pot of Avarice everything back. So that's what I was thinking. But I think I just give him a little too much time here.
So yeah, so we played around Torrential by playing into it.
Stop. Hey, it made sense to me in my head in the moment, but no, yeah, that was pretty bad. So, I mean, the plan does sort of come to pass where we can, on the same turn we flip the Raikou, we can Pot of Avarice and hopefully draw, like, if we draw Donzo, Lug, Spirit Reaper, any of our Airbellums, we're in business. But we draw freaking Cyber Dragon. We just draw inactive cards. Finally, we get the Airbellum, but it just gets bottomless.
Oh, damn. Well, he's going for a big push.
Yep.
But we still have nothing. It's unfortunate.
I know. We just drew past last turn, the first turn of Trunade. We deprison the gear frame, and we draw for turn, and it's MST, and I just say GG because he's going to be able to giant Trunade on the next turn, and he has all the fuel in the world. I just figured I'm dead, so I scoop it up here.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty close one. Oppression in Jinzo, never thought about it, but makes some amount of sense. Lets you just wait till you see your sweeper. I guess you need to get murdered by oppression to justify this. I don't know. Seems weird, but it worked out here.
Yeah, it does seem weird, but I mean, aren't there builds of like Twilight or Lightsworn that like side into it? So it makes sense if you set up your boards with big monsters and then just have oppression to like stop the crackback.
Yeah, Kind of conflicts with Jinzo. I don't know. It's like it's interesting. It clearly cooked me, and maybe the GB matchup is just like that terrible sometimes, where you need these hate cards. It is an unfair, broken card. Okay, last replay for everyone. We've got me versus Babu Dabu. Babu Dabu. We are going first, and we just set a back row Mirror Force.
Wonder if he's Babu Freak's cousin. Star
Dude,
Wars reference.
I do not know what the hell you're saying, but I'm going to upstart into Nobleman of Extermination. We are just going to slam that down. This is why I love this card over Trapstun in this list, because it's just fast. We upstart into it, we just use it immediately, and we go straight for the rip.
Oh my god, Gores again.
I know, he
Jeez.
does a weird thing where he waited for me to target, pitch the card, and then summon the Gores. And he took the damage again.
Oh, yeah. You have to drop Gores before you rip.
It's whatever. I let him go for it. He's going to play right into the Mirror Force here. I don't blame him. He's probably thinking I need to clear this Airbellum. But he's got... I think the reason he did it is because he has Whirlwind Sirocco. But here, we think about it for a minute here, and we're just going... Let's just solemn that. We're going to be able to rip in again and prevent the Whirlwind search. That seems too juicy.
Dang. Rip and mill.
The first time
Pretty
in my life I've ever used the mill effect of Don Zalug, I was thinking in the moment, he has 3 darks, so I don't want him to top deck Dark Armed. I was just thinking that was so juicy, and for the clip, it was so lit. In retrospect, it's kind of a misplay because I have my body, and in all likelihood, if he top decks Dad, he's just going to target a monster, and I'm just going to my body it and win the game. So I guess it really depends on what he would do, but we give him a Bora target in the grave for a top deck Blizzard, so it ends up kind of backfiring, but he doesn't draw Blizzard.
Yeah, and he's just gonna set whatever he drew so he doesn't get it ripped.
Mm-hmm. And the My Body just lets us play with complete like no fear into the back row, so we just keep slamming. Let's
Damn.
see. Yeah, Shura +4 back row, somewhat intimidating of a field, but we have these cards are just so good against Blackwings, man. I'm not proud of this play. Noblemening randomly into all these back row. I don't know what I was trying to accomplish. I think I was just bored.
Okay, Andy. Okay.
Yeah, but I do choose the Fisher because if it's Icarus, we want to be able to actually get our monster down first. And a back row. Like I want this in case he has like what's it called? Whirlwind or something. So I think that makes sense. Here comes
Sweet, and he chooses to attack.
I know. I mean, it's not the best trade. Like, you ideally, any other Blackwing, it would have been, like, juicy because he would have stuck around. But, it's a 1-for-1, so it's not the worst. And we're going to be able to MST the D Prison in the end phase. Here we've got the Raikou Bottomless and the Dust Tornado set. He's got the Sirocco, and again, we just choose to pop the monster because I think this is a misplay too. I think I should just pop a back row and then Dust Tornado the other one. I'm not sure why I did that.
Yeah, I don't think that's bad. I mean, if you miss, if he has Icarus still, then we're still in trouble.
Yeah, I think I also just don't want to get colluded. Like, Cyber Dragon's such an awkward card against Blackwings because it's, like, good, but the second you rely on it to get over their monsters and then they have collude, like, you just lose the game. So, to me, the monsters are the real threats here. Again, I just set the hamster. It gets me another Raikou. And I'm going to Dust Tornado the new set, which is a Trap Dust Shoot. Feels bad. And again, we're just gonna go after the monster here because like we are not too worried about throwing our like air bellum to the wind. It's fine.
Big 200 damage.
Yeah, he's got the Whirlwind Colute here, which feels kind of bad. We had bottomless set, so it was like the only Blackwing we couldn't bottomless. Or not the only one, but you get what I mean. Here we just are in a position where we just have to pray that that back row can't stop us. And thankfully it doesn't. He goes for the Blizzard and Armed Wing. I'm going to bottomless that. But he's got the Judgment.
Solemn damn.
Yeah, that was... I thought it was Icarus. I thought I was about to own his soul with the Starlight Road, but... Ugh. But now I'm thinking that, like, this must be Icarus, because why would you make Armed Wing, you know? Like, why wouldn't you just make Goyo?
Right.
He runs over our breaker here after we pop the Whirlwind, because we're not too concerned with the Icarus. Again, we have Starlight Road. Same thing here. We go for breaker. We're not too concerned with the Icarus, so we just go for the new one, but it's a freaking Yada.
Damn.
Yep, sure is going to close that one out. So that was, I mean, like, these games are all close, and the deck is decking because, like, every single game is, we're simplifying the game state. We're getting our opponents down to a few cards, and then we just got a ton of removal to kind of, like, keep pushing our damage agenda. Okay, let's see. With this hand, yeah, I think it's time, Albert, isn't it?
Yeah, we hit a bottomless, so we feel safer going into this other back row. It's got to be Torrential, Mirror Force.
Yeah, it's D-Prison, but that's like so fine because like you're trading like Air Bellum is essentially hand ripping at that point. It's field ripping, you know, like
Right.
So and then the other one gets another card. We're gonna hold the upstart. Not sure why at this point. I think you could just fire it. Maybe we're playing around Dust Shoot. Not too sure. Yep, now we set the Jujitsu. You could set the Raiko. I'm just feeling like if he top decks a monster and runs into the Jujitsu, it's going to be way too juicy, and that's exactly what happens.
Dude, love it. And he's setting it, like his back, I don't even know if his back row are real, but he's just setting it because he doesn't want it to get ripped.
Yep, so finally we're going to go Raiko into the back row because, like you said, he's setting it, and if it's Icarus, we want to try to deal with it, and we actually do hit it. And we just distribute some in the Cyber Dragon, and now he has to stop this, but he doesn't even have a stop. So I have no idea what that back row is. I'm like, it's not bottomless, it's not torrential. If it was Icarus, he would have used it. So I'm like, is it oppression? Like, what could it be? Again, I'm thinking it can't be Mirror Force, because you would definitely Mirror Force to protect your only monster. So I just switched the Jujitsu into attack.
Wait, oh, I see. I was like, what?
Yeah, that was
I thought
strange.
he attacked the wrong one, but he just wants it off the board? Is he on 3 darks?
He is on 3 darks. Yeah, I just choose to Mirror Force. I was not paying attention to the dark count. He does have the dark arm. That makes way more sense to me now. But, I mean, he's going to deal with the Jujitsu, but we got the bottomless, so it's, like, a good trade for him, but not the worst for us. And then here's a moment. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it can't be Mirror Force. It can't be Torrential. It can't be a Battle Trap or Bottomless. So I have no idea what it is, but I want to put him on a 2-turn clock. So I just Caius this thing, and it's freaking pulling the rug.
Oh my.
Dude, let's take a look at my deck list again. I guess if you count my breakers that he's anticipating me siding in, which he saw it's more
He saw last game.
Yeah, okay, like it's a little more fair, but we've got one monster in our main deck that gets hit by pulling the rug. I was absolutely livid. Not livid, I was just more like, I can't believe I just got hit by pulling the rug. But it's okay, because we have our Air Bellum again, and it's gonna rip another Sirocco. We choose to not Torrential the summon because we have Fissure, so we're just gonna Fissure and then set our Raikou. Don't want to get pierced. Here comes the Shura, and we're actually out of targets, which is so insane. We have all of our Raikous gone, one of them set here, and we have all of our Arabellums gone. So he just clanks it.
I'm just swinging. He's on a clock.
Yep. Here
That
I
was
think
a good draw though.
I know. If he doesn't synchro, you're kind of boned. So we just torrential. We don't want to risk it, and we draw the breaker, which is enough for 100 more than exact game. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. What was his last card? Kalute. Reasonable.
Kalute.
Okay. I've literally played 5 games with this deck. Those are the 5 games I've played. They've all felt competitive. I think that this deck could be cooking. It feels so fair. It feels like a fair dueling deck, even though hand ripping, kind of historically speaking, is like more of an unfair, cheesy thing. All the removal just feels so powerful in Edison right now. I'm not sure what it is. Like, I think you have the cheese in your deck to deal with frogs if you like cat play them or hand rip them and their hand's kind of weak. And against the bird decks, like these cards are just houses. Like against GBs, the same thing. Like these cards are just good. So I actually think this might be cooking with a little bit of refinement. This is literally the first draft, but I'm curious what you guys might think. What do you think after seeing all those replays?
I like it. It reminds me of the Chaos stun build from our Team Starlight tournament, where like it has the smashing grounds to like deal with the monsters, and then you just summon like these floodgate type monsters, but instead you're summoning Airbellum and the Dawn to hand rip them. So it's pretty cool. I like it. I like this rough draft you got going. The only thing is I do see it struggling versus frogs.
Yeah, frogs definitely. I mean, like most decks in the format, your game 1 against frogs isn't the best. I do think that maybe you need to hedge the side a little bit for frogs a little bit more. Like I didn't think we were lacking back row removal for Black Wings, or like or Vayu, so maybe we can cut like a Dust Tornado for an additional frog hate thing for like the 3rd Dyna perhaps. Not too sure. Yeah, you're pretty reliant on basically everything Rescue Cat to the left here to carry you in the frog matchup, because nothing else is going to. You just need to rely on the hand rip cheese, and then post side you just need Dynas and like these cards to kind of get you there. So yeah, that's a weakness for sure. But against all the other meta decks, I feel like the matchup doesn't seem that terrible. I don't know. Maybe I'm coping. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm coping, or if we might be onto a new way to play Rescue Cat that is very annoying for your opponent. All right, that's going to be it. Signing out. Peace.